Hello. Audio check. Check, check, check. Welcome, everyone. Happy 4th of July stream where we have Bitcoin selling off strongly in the morning, apparently due to Germany selling coins. But we're just not going to attribute any cost to the sell off. It's been going on for a while now. And today, you might argue that BTC came into a demand zone once again. All right, let's go. So you have Bitcoin selling off today. Right now, it's an hour and 26 minutes away from the candle close, from the daily candle close, and it's currently fighting to hold support, kind of a trifecta of supports. It's above 58,400, or at least trying to stay above the 200 moving average. This is the first time that BTC USD touches the 200 since October 16. So that's a long time. And it also came back down into the range lows here. I think it almost touched the bottom of the range and had some buying down there, which is the lowest price action since May 2nd. So 2-month lows for BTC here. I'll go to the 3-day also, because it's going to close in an hour and change. So on the 3-day, you will be making your lowest 3-day candle close since February 24th, taking out this close from the beginning of May. And you're also working on a bearish engulfing candle and building negative momentum once again on the MACD histogram. I'm falling into the bearish control zone on the RSI, which is at the 39 point level right now. So not a great look. I've seen a lot of despair around the timeline. I just tuned in to some Twitter spaces and I heard a guy talk for an hour straight about how crypto was pointless and cycle being over, and this was basically like the ultimate top for crypto, and that it may never do another all-time high. So you can guess on how the sentiment's going on for BTC right now and the rest of the crypto market. But in all honesty, it's not a great look. If you start maybe holding at around 58.4, 57.4K, which is this real level from the first stop from the prior cycle top from 2021, then it might get interesting. Also, some confluence here with the top of this range. We talked yesterday late. We had a late night stream yesterday, and we talked about maybe this top of this range working as support once again. So it could be interesting if you start to see some bits at around this area, but I don't think it's gonna get reversed on one candle. I think it's gonna take a little bit more time, maybe a couple weeks, in order to carve out a bottom and maybe confirm this potential bullish divergence on the MACD histogram. Although you do have to have in mind that this potential bullish divergence could turn just into confluence real quick, because if the negative momentum keeps increasing, it could just turn into bearish confluence if we go into fresh lows. And if we start maybe carving out a bottom at around here and you start losing the negative momentum, then maybe you can talk about this being a higher low for the MACD and having like equal lows or maybe a lower low if you take the candle close for price. So just wishful thinking at this point because you don't have any data that's might suggest that that could happen, but it's just speculation on what it could happen. I also wanted to see Bitcoin against the SPX because it was having a breakdown today from this channel that we've been on for quite some time now. So we've been on this ascending channel for 126 days, so 4 months plus, and you will be having the official breakdown in an hour and 21 minutes if buyers don't step in and push this asset higher. So it kind of feels like maybe Bitcoin against the SPX is front running what the USD pair may do, because we already lost the 200. I had a formal bearish back test to it actually, which impulsed us to this move to the downside. And there's this classic distribution pattern of 3 falling peaks that was confirmed and had a throwback, but came back down into below of the breakout line just 2 days ago. And this has a 20% measured target move from the breakout line to the downside. So at around here, there's maybe this cluster here could work as a support if actually the target of the technical setup gets hit, because sometimes it underperforms. Some other times it just overshoots. It's just to give you an idea if you were to trade the setup on where you could take profits. So yeah, this we talked about this throwback also, where you had this confirmation of the distribution with this daily candle close below, but then you had this reclaim of the breakout line, but then you came back just immediately below. And Bulkowski on his encyclopedia of patterns just says that the patterns that have throwbacks, they tend to underperform. So hopefully this could be one of these cases of underperformance of this distribution pattern. Otherwise, you're looking at that measure move target at around here. So not a great look. And also on the 3-day, continuing to build negative momentum once again. You're at the 35-point level on the RSI, so deep within the bearish control zone. These sellers are clearly running this market for now. So if you were looking for taking a long, I would maybe wait a little bit until we get out of the 40-point. We get above the 40-point level on the RSI and get a good signal of maybe being a local bottom. But just look at on how it looks. I understand why some people are calling for this to be the macro top, but I don't think it is. I think this is closer to carving out a bottom around here than the highs from March. Hopefully. Let's go to Bitcoin dominance. Also on the 3-day, we've been talking about the daily having this potential bearish head and shoulders. Today continuing to play out. We also said that most likely if we were going to downtrend on BTC, then this would spike up. So maybe this whole distribution pattern is not going to get confirmed, and you're not going to get that daily candle close below the breakout line. Just like Bitcoin to the SPX did, this is the same pattern, but on Bitcoin against the SPX is already confirmed, and it's already below here, more or less, somewhere around here. So yeah, I just don't like the fact that also locally here, this could be turning into also a macro bearish head and shoulders from April price action going forward. So I don't like Bitcoin dominance potentially setting up a reversal pattern from this chop the past 2 months. It might indicate, in my case, that Bitcoin is gonna trend downwards and is gonna rip off the band-aid, because anytime Bitcoin just dumps for the past few days, Bitcoin dominance gets an uptick. So, and if Bitcoin dominance is starting to look bullish, then I'm imagining that it's because Bitcoin looks bearish. So hopefully this just turns out into another lower high, and the future is bright for the crypto market. But I just wanted to give you that heads up. 3-day also looks somewhat bullish. You have a bullish hammer here, confirming the previous 3-day candle close of this bullish engulfing. So having followed through after this bullish engulfing candle, and also you're losing negative momentum in the MACD histogram. You don't have any kind of divergence so far, but you do have this inverse head and shoulders pattern looking on the 3-day here in the histogram. So I'm guessing there's going to be an uptick on, there's going to be an uptrend on BTC dominance by how this looks. I don't like this one bit. Now that I have a look at it, my God. And if you don't believe me on why I get concerned about that kind of price action on the histogram, let's take a look here what BTC did. Look at this. You have the same setup, chat. This head and shoulders, look what it turned out to be. If you had sold BTC here at the right shoulder, then look what you would have basically saved yourself from. So now that I look at a Bitcoin dominance on the 3-day, which is a higher time frame than the 1-day, it kind of means that it's gonna have some high time frame outperformance on BTC against alts. Hopefully it's to the upside. I'm hoping. But on what the trend's been doing, apparently it's gonna be, I mean, it's gonna be to the upside on Bitcoin dominance, but on what BTC USD has been doing, it looks like it's going to be possibly a drawdown, and having this inverse head and shoulders on the MACD play out. You do have to have in mind that this hasn't been confirmed just yet. The confirmation of this inverse head and shoulders on the MACD histogram will be with a positive daily bar here, here with a positive momentum bar on the MACD histogram, and that hasn't happened. But it just makes me wanted to be careful on altcoins and the market in general, on how Bitcoin dominance is starting to look. Damn. Having taken a look at the MACD, I'm gonna flip here this potential distribution pattern, and I'm gonna go with this now. Sadly, but it's just what the data is presenting. Something like that. Damn. It's just sad to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think Bitcoin dominance looks bearish right now, and about to put in the highest daily candle close since June 23rd. Losing negative momentum. I'm possibly about to flip green on the MACD. So yeah, that's your dominance. Let's take a look at USDT dominance. My God, about to go in for the highest daily candle close since February 11. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so This is on an uptrend on the daily time frame. You got back above the 200, had a formal bullish backtest to it. Look the spring that it had, also springing from the mid range here. And you're right now on range highs here at the top of the channel. So this could be considered, if you were just trading the range, this would be considered overbought and this would be considered oversold. So pray for a reversal, chat. Otherwise, this can get very nasty. If this breaks out to the upside, then I think it's really bad news for crypto. And again, I'm not going to be picking bottoms here until I get somewhat of a clear technical setup, because I don't know where the bottom's going to be. And on the 3-day, you also have this bullish engulfing candle about to print the highest 3-day close since February 9. And it's on the 64 RSI level right now. For the first time, bro, since September of last year, that you haven't seen these levels on the RSI for the 3-day. And also on the MACD histogram, about to put in the highest bar since May 12th. And this could turn into somewhat of what Bitcoin dominance is printing, this head and shoulders, but you don't have any sign of reversing just now. You're continuing to print strong positive momentum. So this could just turn into confluence or whatever. I mean, to invalidate the setup, if it just prints huge bars to the upside, then you won't have this head and shoulders pattern on the MACD. It will need to reverse. It will need to reverse pretty soon and start losing the strength on the momentum and start flipping into negative momo. Then we could be talking about that head and shoulders on the MACD. But as for now, buyers are in control of this market. Just look at right now, you're above the 4.88 level and around the 5.23% level. Critical inflection points from history. Every time that you had a clear breakout out of these levels, you just shoot it straight up. Just shot straight up. Ethereum. So Ethereum reversing pretty much the entirety of the ETF news candle, at least on the 3-day. Building negative momentum at the 41 level on the RSI, and about to put in a bearish engulfing candle. So yikes. And if you go to the Bollinger Bands, you'll see this bearish backtest into the mid-range here on the previous 3-day candle, and now you have the down mark from that bearish retest to it. So you will want to see the trend going to the upside, riding the bands and using the mid-range here, the EMA as support. But as for now, it's just having a bearish backtest. So, and on the daily, came and touched the 200 for the first time, I'm guessing since October, right? Since late October last year. We talked about, if you wanted to see Ethereum go into 4K, you would need to be about $3,582, which is this inflection point, the complacency shoulder from 2022. But you couldn't hold price action above it, and then you're having this big down mark. And we're not gonna pretend like this is gonna decouple from the rest of the market. I know it has an ETF coming up, yada yada yada. But at the end, if, Bitcoin's king, and if Bitcoin's having critical levels being broken, like what happened yesterday, and catching follow through today, going into lower prices, then altcoins are gonna get pounded way harder because altcoins don't like uncertainty on BTC, and market participants realized the breakdown that was happening, and that's why altcoins suffered more. We're not going to look at the stock market because it was closed today. I don't think there's that much point looking at on to the DXY today as well. But I think the key, as for now, it's on USDT dominance impulsing up, and maybe start to look into, maybe you form a divergence here into, you have a lower high here on the MACD histogram eventually, and then a higher high on price, and maybe you get that reversal after that divergence is formed and confirmed. But until then, market right now on the daily time frame, it's risking off, that's for sure. This whole thing here was key for me, this whole back test into a 200 as a formal bullish back test, as after you have not touched that EMA for so long, you go back above it, had a formal bullish backtest to it, and look what happened. Chat. Look at this impulse on USDT dominance after the backtest, like a 7.5% rally on price. So very bad, very bad. It will be nice to see somewhat of a reversal here at range highs. Maybe you get a relief, but. And we also talked about, I'm going to go to a more clear chart. I also talked a lot about losing the P cycle top indicator orange EMA that was basically deviating from the plan to 2017, where you ping ponged from the two EMAs into blow off tops and whatever. And this deviation and losing that 200 just looked, I mean, not the 200, the P cycle orange EMA just looked really bad in my opinion, and reminded me of maybe this eco bubble territory here. When you lost it, you had this big down mark here, and I don't think this has happened yet. This whole huge candle has not happened on BTC yet. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think this candle will be a transportation into 48K or so, and a lot of people on despair, and basically that whole teleportation down way far from the range lows into basically the prior range would maybe start to print a bottom into a relief rally, and then we're gonna see what the does price do against the orange EMA. If we actually get that big candle to downside, hopefully we don't get it, but I'm guessing if we get it, it's gonna be soon. It's gonna, maybe you spend a little bit more time here, and then you just get a massive candle to downside. So, and from then maybe you put in a bottom and go test the orange EMA. Who knows? But that's not a great look. Hopefully the lows are in at about now, and we start chopping around here, and we get that impulse against the orange EMA soon, and you don't have that market sell-off. So I wanted to be clear on that. If you just stare at the chart like this, it's pretty scary, right? But my bias on the really high time frame is bullish, since how the 3-month, the 2-month, the monthly, and the 6-month closed. This could turn into a nice opportunity, in my opinion. Hopefully. Okay, let's take a look at some altcoins. Solana. So Solana taking a beating today. It's down 5.78%. It was down even further at one point. Confirming yesterday's bearish engulfing candle, about to put in the lowest daily candle close since June 24th. So reversing the entirety of the market bounce here. It just went into resistance and sold off immediately. So maybe we come into demand and find a support just within this descending channel, but you're below the 144 level here, top from the complacency shoulder. So you don't have much of a support within these areas. This is pretty much straight up and straight down territory. So maybe your next support would be at around $166. Losing positive momentum on the MACD and at around the 41 point level on the histogram. I mean on the RSI. And Sol BTC losing positive momentum on the MACD histogram, and you have this hidden bearish divergence, not confirmed, but if it plays out, you'll see way lower prices on Sol BTC, and that's a little bit confident on what we saw in Bitcoin dominance. So just be careful out there, boys. I love Solana. I think it's one of my favorite picks for this cycle, but I'm seeing some signs. You just lost this area too, which was a clear inflection point from the previous cycle. So you couldn't hold price above it. Maybe your next support is around here on 20,264 sats. I just don't like this hidden bearish divergence at all. In all honesty to you, it might imply that that the bear trend that we're on might continue to play out, because you have a lower high here and then a lower low. If you don't count the wick and another potential lower high here. So this could turn into a continuation divergence to the downside of Solana just losing strength against Bitcoin. I just wish it would. I'm like a parrot repeating myself here, but I just want to be really clear with anyone who follows my videos that I wish that this BTC strength that we might see on the market that's shaping up to start playing out really soon, maybe within this week or the next one, is just because of Bitcoin finding a bottom and then bouncing harder than most of the coins. But for what we're seeing on the market, it looks like it might be because Bitcoin is going to rock and altcoins are going to get rocked way harder. So let's take a look at Sol ETH. Also, one of my favorite charts for the past time. Let's see what's been doing. Not much today, just down 0.88%. About to put in the lowest daily candle close since June 29. Losing negative momentum. You don't have that kind of hitting bearish divergence, not at least on Sol ETH. So if this continues to trend downwards, I'm guessing my whole idea of just disregarding this week of distribution type 2, because I wanted to disregard it, not pay attention to it. We had a great bounce, but you were not able to put in a higher high regarding this high. So maybe if we put in a higher low, you can start working into an inverted head and shoulders here. That will be the prime scenario. But if it fails to put in a higher low and you continue to come down, then this whole last point of supply event starts getting valid, and you'll start getting close to the sign of weakness area here, where distribution could get confirmed and you would enter phase E, which would be the downmark phase for Sol ETH, and where Solana would lose most of its market share against Ethereum. I'm just hoping that doesn't play out, because it will be confluent with a risk-off signal for crypto, in my opinion. Just it will mean that that altcoins are getting pounded way harder than Bitcoin, and potentially Bitcoin's chopping or bleeding or whatever. But I'm not gonna be calling shots here right now, because this could turn into, I don't know, just support from this inflection points here. But you do have to have that in mind. Okay, WIF was green just a while ago, but down 0.73%, continuing market sell-off, losing negative momentum at the it's at the 38%, 38 point level on the RSI, so it's on the bearish control zone. Jupiter was also green today. Look at this wick. One point was like up 30%. It got listed on a South Korean exchange. That's why it pumped so hard, but reversed the entirety of the move when Bitcoin rocked in the morning. So about to put in the lowest daily candle close since June 23rd, losing its positive momentum, and this bullish divergence just turned out to be another lower high apparently. So if you have a bullish divergence failing, this clearly to me it's a sign that sellers are in control of the market and they're calling the shots right now. Otherwise you would have somewhat of a performance of a bullish divergence. So apparently market's so bearish on altcoins that are not even a bullish divergence on a daily time frame will be able to do anything. Render going for the lowest daily candle close. Wow. Since February 20, chat. Like the whole market's been reversing and nuking for quite some time, and hopefully this thing is starting to look really scary on if you zoom out. Double top not confirmed yet. You will need to have a daily candle close below $6.30, but not a great structure. You don't have any kind of divergence on the MACD, just bearish confluence. But you're at the 39 point level on the RSI, so also falling into the bearish control zone. My God. Render BTC, I'm guessing it's not able to, it hasn't been able to hold here the bottom of this broadening ascending wedge. So I'm not interested in this coin until further notice. Plus, you had two formal bearish retests to 200 moving average, about to put in the lowest daily candle close since June 23rd. And you maybe had this whole inverse head and shoulders narrative just getting invalidated as for now. Not entirely, but the structure where it was looking somewhat good. Maybe you put in another right shoulder lower here, but it's not such a clean structure like the one that we saw a few days ago. Man. Pepe, we talked about Pepe a lot, man. We talked about this potentially not going anywhere to the upside before coming to the 618. And look what happened today, chat. Look at this, 618 reach. Hype in the chat for Pepe coming into the golden area or for the golden pocket boys. So Pepe against USD is starting to come into deep retracement levels and deep value areas. So by on how the market looks, I'm guessing it's gonna overshoot it and maybe coming into 786 retracement at around the 200, building negative momentum once again. Hitting bullish divergence didn't play out into anything, and at the 30 point level on the RSI, so deep within the bearish control zone as for now. I wouldn't bid Pepe just yet. I would wait for a better signal, a better structure. You just broke down out of the ascending channel. Yikes. Pepe VTC, it's also way far off from the 618. So it's going to need more time. 618 is at around here on this green box. This was a signal for me, honestly. I mean, we've been talking about Pepe being risk off for a minute, but Pepe against Solana just looked like garbage up here, where you had this, you had a bearish bat here on the top starting to play out. What a performance. It's just overseeded the top of the harmonic. And now you're you're starting to look for an 886 retracement to form a bullish bat here on Solana against Pepe, but that could take a while. That could take a long time. Building negative momentum on the MACD histogram at around the 35-point level on the RSI on Pepe against Solana. So Solana is going to outperform Pepe for the very few next weeks, in my opinion. The whole market just rocking. ENS down 7.5%, building negative momentum once again for the first time since June 26th. Sad. It's just sad. We talked about Bonk. Bonk coming into the 200 for the first time in its history, losing its positive momentum at around the 41-point level on the RSI, and just bird trending. Yep. Lower highs and lower lows. And Bonk BTC. This kid, I don't like how this looks, to be honest. Not a fan. But looks better than a lot of other coins against BTC as for now. I'm guessing Bitcoin, Bitcoin's like falling 1% since a few hours ago. That's why the altcoins got pounded even harder. Ethereum, my God. Look at USDT dominance up 4.3% on the daily, about to go into a daily candle close, not leaving much of a wick. So that's definitely what you don't want to see. Man, you're currently overbought here on this channel, but if this keeps up, it's gonna have a breakout out of the ascending channel. It's gonna put in a capitulation candle because there isn't much resistance above, like in the short term, if you break out of the ascending channel here. And there is not like the stock exchange can save us, because look what the SPX and the Nasdaq's been doing. It's just been pumping into into new highs, and Bitcoin's been just shitting the bed. What else? Sinks down 20%. My God. Going for lowest daily candle close in its history, and around the 28-point level on the RSI. Blast. Look at, my God. Layer 0 was doing some things, but it's ultimately getting nuked on past couple days, going for lowest daily candle close since June 29. Definitely the best of this. It's not a layer 2. It's probably why it's better, has better fundamentals. It's not like an ETH token, but oh, it's always green on the day. My God. Oh, it's against Ethereum. Okay, word. Maybe it's green on the day anyway, if it's against ETH. We'll take a look at. I'll take a look to that right away. Where do I have it? So it's up 2%. Okay, it's not doing anything. Never mind. ENS. Yeah, we talked yesterday at this potential being a deviation of a breakout of this 2-year plus accumulation range. It's gonna need to maybe come into 200 and maybe try again, but I don't like that kind of deviations. I'm done for ENS for the time being. Injected down 5%, 5.6%. losing its positive. I mean, flipping red on the momentum here. First negative momentum bar since June 26th. About to take out this low here that was potentially an area of interest for this type 2 return out of this massive bullish cipher. But you guessed it, chat. Bears are so deep in control that they're not able to even print on high time frame harmonic charts with type 2 returns above a critical inflection point here from 2021. Look what it turned out to be, just another pathetic lower high. Granted, you were below the 200. You never want to be below the 200 on this kind of scenarios, but either way, just sellers gonna keep selling until BTC recovers strength. Right? What's this? Whiff against Bonk, whatever. Bonk against Solana. Yeah. But if Solana pukes, this is not interesting. Oh, these charts are interesting if you're on risk on environment. Okay, CFX down 16.5%, going for the lowest daily candle close since 23rd of October of last year. What a joke. This has been the hardest bull market ever. If this could be called a bull market. Just Bitcoin didn't really enter it by discovery. CA charts up 5% on a day? What? Bullish hammer. Pretty nice. Although it's still on a downtrend, so I wouldn't get that excited. ApeCoin down 11% and about to put in its lowest daily candle close in its history and lowest price action ever, all-time lows for Ape. Type in the chat. It's at the 29-point level on the RSI. What up? My God. This was the entire bull market for Ape. Easiest short ever. If you're gonna short a coin, short something like Ape or looks rare or whatever, just a really weak coin. Blur also dying. Jesus Christ. Sushi down 17%. My God. Sushi about to put in the lowest daily candle close since October 29. And really oversold at the 26-point level on the RSI on daily time frame. Jesus Christ. Talk about an echo bubble. My God. This is gonna need a long time here. Doing some shenanigans before popping off again. Market's about to turn pretty boring, in my opinion, where you have BTC sucking the rest of the liquidity from the altcoin market. Yeah. Entirety of the crypto market just rocked today. Feel sad, man. Not because of the loss, it's just because of the loss of the opportunity, you know? Say down 9.6%, going for the lowest daily candle close since December 17. Jesus Christ. Undo was doing some things before, but we talked yesterday about this. the bouncing ball, and now you're starting to break down. About to have its lowest daily candle close since May 22nd. Granted, still looks better than most of the rest of the market, but building negative momentum once again. You're on the same ascending channel that Pepe had, and my guess it's gonna be, since you broke this support, that you'll break down from this channel very soon. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do a shorter stream today since it's the 4th of July, and most of y'all are enjoying yourself and having a great holiday. I'm gonna stop fighting, your backs and BTC, but just have in mind that this looks really weak, and German government is not selling right now, so it's just the lack of buyers in the market, and hopefully this support here is hold at around the 56 to 57k. I mean 58 to 57k, my bad. And also the bottom of the descending channel turn out to be something good, and maybe you start losing negative momentum and flipping green, and we all can be happy again. But I will be careful for the time being. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.